right, guys, we are back from our break. And yeah, we're gonna talk about
The big debate.
debate right now. The big debate is Marvel Phase 4 better than the first three phases? And why aren't people liking Marvel's Phase 4?
Let's get into it. Well, you know what? I'm gonna start us off because there's things that people don't understand. Phase four is our phase one. Phase four is phase one of the new phase that's coming. Yes, it's called phase four because it's continuing from the other universe. But it is the phase one. Like if you think about it, there's nothing wrong. The first phase, nothing really connected. Nothing really connected Iron Man to Captain America, unless they had an ending scene.
Where Iron Man
And it was Nick Fury talking
uh,
about let's do an
talking
Avengers.
about the Avengers. That was the connect. That was the connection. I would disagree a little bit on that because there was that connection that hey, with all these characters are going to meet up
But we didn't know who the
eventually.
villain was.
So yeah, we didn't know who the villain.
Everybody's
We
talking
didn't know
about,
who the villain
oh,
was,
we
but
don't
we know
know,
that
we
they
don't
were.
know what
We
it's gonna lead to. We don't know who the villain is. Like, dude, we didn't get introduced to the villain
Mhm.
to like the end of Avengers, and that was almost the end of Phase
Yeah,
One.
I do see what you're saying though that with this phase four, we can't expect everything to be connected because Marvel, now that Marvel have seen the success of the MCU, they could introduce so many new characters and create great projects individually and introduce the characters through shows that we can watch and then we can maybe see them in a movie later on because they've already established this as an existing character in the
Mm-hmm.
MCU.
Mm-hmm.
So I I think that right now the connection is that they're basically world building. They're building the more of the MCU that we haven't seen. We only knew a few worlds in the MCU, which is like Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Hulk. But besides that, there wasn't many much to explore. But now that Marvel knows that the MCU could be even more successful, I think with this new phase and with the power of streaming, they want to be able to really focus on these characters individually through shows and create like a whole portfolio of
And then
content.
that's a whole, and it's
Which I
so
think that's the
funny.
direction that they're taking.
It's so funny how a lot of the fans that are saying, "Oh, Phase Four makes no sense," are the same fans that were like, "Hey, Marvel, when you gonna give us more characters than the characters that we have now? You have this whole list of characters. We want to see more characters coming into the MCU. We want to see more characters come to live." And then when they give him those live characters, they're like, "You're giving us too much." It's like, why mean? We have to we have to build Miss Marvel.
Not that it was too much, but that this isn't good. Like this isn't good. Like what are you talking about? What are you talking about? All these shows are great when you think about it. Yes, there's some shows that I don't necessarily enjoy, but am I expecting it to be exactly like phases 1, 2, 3? No, because I know that what I'm seeing is very special, and I'm judging these shows not by their by comparing it to these other phases. I'm judging these shows by the individualistic things that they offer in the show,
Yeah, introducing us
and
to more
what
characters.
these characters are. Yeah,
I mean,
I think people just, I think a lot of folks are just thinking too much that hey, this has to be connected like phase 1, 2, 3. This, but and they want to be able to have that Infinity War reaction to everything. They want to be able to say, "Oh, this is my favorite. Oh, this was the greatest movie. Oh, this." Not every project that Marvel's going to come out with is going to be
no, it's the
great.
same thing, and we
You
talked
can't
about it before. It's the same thing as the comics. All the comics are not connected. X Men has their own lives, their own villains, their own stories. Iron Man has his own lives, his own villains, his own story. Captain America, yes, they do collabos when they do the Avengers, They do a collabo. They have the Avengers have their own villains and their own story. But when you go to the individual comics, this Iron Man comic doesn't necessarily connect.
It's an
It's an
Iron
Iron Man
Man.
comic.
It's an Iron Man
Hmm.
comic. So, and I think that's what Marvel is trying to do with the MCU, where it's similarly being treated as the comics, where there's these individual stories that you can enjoy or you cannot enjoy, because there's going to be people that are going to enjoy them. You know, it doesn't matter if you like it or not. There's going to be somebody out there that's going to love what they're going to be
Hmm.
putting out,
Hmm.
and and bro, this is a dream come true.
I mean, we got a Moon
If you're a
Knight.
comic fan, yeah, this is a dream come true if you're a comic fan.
We got a Moon Knight. And how dope was the Moon Knight show? You know what
Fucking
I'm saying?
amazing.
What else we got? We got Miss Marvel.
Hmm.
How excited was everybody seeing a young hero that was the same as us getting superpowers? Like I wanted to be here. I like, damn, she's us. She's a nerd like us. She knows all
Hmm.
about the comic books. She knows all about the heroes, and then she becomes a hero.
Hmm.
And it was
Yeah.
just like, yes, maybe they gave us a little bit too much. Maybe a lot of fans feel a little bit overwhelmed. But all these comic books, yes, at one point or another, they are gonna connect when a big threat that's gonna destroy the world. That's when all the heroes come. Right now, they have no threat. As the only threat that we know is Kang, and we don't know how bad he is until he gets introduced either Loki season 2 or Quantum Mania.
Hmm. And we don't even know if is even gonna be the big bad. We don't even know if Kang
Kang
is the
could be
big
the
bad
Loki.
because they're supposed. Yeah, because supposedly they're supposed to be Doctor Doom in Fantastic Four, and there's also rumors that Galactus might be the big bad. You know, we don't know who the hell is going to be the big bad. And I think that it's pretty interesting that they also are introducing these different villains because, you know, I think these comics deserve to be explored in live action in the way that we should appreciate them because it's these individual stories are so special and so unique, very creative, and man, just enjoy it because I have trust in Marvel and what they're doing. Everything doesn't need to connect. I just want to see comic book characters come to life,
Oh,
and
me
I'm
too.
happy
Me
with that.
too. And it's some of the points. Like a lot of people were upset that they changed Kamala Khan origin from an inhuman to a mutant. But if you look into a little bit deeper, like I saw this news and I said, hold on, let me see if this is true. And I looked for for the creator comments, and the creator of Kamala Khan actually said that Kamala Khan was supposed to be a mutant from the get go in the comic books. So
Hmm.
them changing her origin in the MCU to become a mutant, it's not a big change from the comic books. Yeah, in the comic book, she's an Inhuman, but she was supposed to be a mutant. Actually, the Inhumans were not even supposed to be at all. The Inhumans were just created,
At all, no.
and I mean, I know that the one of the news is that in the Marvels, Black Bolt is coming back, and he's gonna be part. He's gonna be like in the moon, and he's coming back. Maybe that will introduce us to humans. But if the creator of the character says, "Hey, this character was supposed to be a mutant from the get go," and MCU says, "Well, let's do it into a mutant," it's not that Kevin Feige hates on humans; it's that he wants to concentrate on the mutants. And what the best way to introduce the mutants with having a show of a girl that has powers that is a mutant, and that's how you get introduced into the wide world of mutants, and now we
Yeah,
have that.
yeah. The last episode, I gotta admit, I wasn't liking the idea, but when you think about it, when you think about it, especially with with the creator saying that she was supposed to be originally a mutant, um, I'm really taking a really good appreciation to like just seeing these characters come to life, and it's important to not criticize these series based on like that. Oh, everything needs to have that wow, not that wow, but everything needs to have that Infinity War. That not everything needs to have that Infinity War reaction. You
Correct.
know, like
Yeah, like you were saying, having these characters come to life and having the approval of the creator that created them is such a great thing to have. It's such a great thing to see. Man, I really don't see anything wrong with Phase Four. Like I said, remember, you guys have to remember one thing. This is based on comic books. It's not gonna be a direct thing from these characters are based on on comic book characters, so they are gonna have a different story than the comic books. So it's not like, oh, let's grab this page from comic books, and yes, they're gonna have a lot of reference to the comic books, and that's what I appreciate when they do have those one shot references in the show or movie, and you be like, oh, I remember that from this comic book. And it gives you that, wow, they actually put that there. That's when you get excited for those moments that you be like, I remember I read that in a comic book, or he said that in this comic book. And it gives you that satisfaction of, wow, I'm actually seeing Thor come to life. I'm seeing Iron Man come to life. I'm seeing Miss Marvel that's not only a culture, is representing the young culture and the young cosplayers and fans and geeks and nerds that are growing up at right now with these fans, with this character, with this comic book characters come to life. And she's the same way. She likes to cosplay. She wants to go to comic
yeah,
cons.
I can't. I just want to. I just want like I well what I think. I think Marvel's ultimate plan. I think their ultimate plan for their content is to do, like we mentioned, introduce all these characters through the streaming platforms and the power of Disney Plus, and then the big events they can save those for the movies. You know, like, and I think that's a
Hmm.
good strategy. I think that's a good plan. And introducing all these new heroes, it's gonna open more doors for new adventures, like even and more adventures. So it doesn't all need to be singular and meeting at this one point because we're gonna be able to see all these new characters have their own
Yes.
adventures. And what if and they might not ever, maybe there are gonna be some characters that they introduce live action that it might not ever get connected to the movies or anything like
And
that.
it'll be funny.
But
I was just thinking about it. It could be funny because they could actually split the MCU into two different villains. Maybe Guardians of the Galaxy is going to introduce us like to Galactus, that he's a space villain. He's from a galaxy, or Silver Surfer, or I know they're going to introduce us to all these characters, but it's the outer space aspect of it. They could have their own villains and have all these heroes out from outer space join together to fight whatever villain, and have all the Earthbound heroes go against an Earthbound villain, like Doctor Doom,
go
go
against
against
Kang,
Kang, go
go
against
against
Doctor
Kang or
Doom,
Doctor Doom.
while Guardians of the Galaxy and whoever you introduce that goes to space, could go against Silver Surfer, because remember, Silver Surfer was a bad guy at
I
one
think,
point.
I think, I think we're gonna like. I think Marvel fans, we just have to be patient because we trust. We are gonna reach those crazy moments, those Infinity War moments, but also these moments are as great too because we're gonna be able to explore all these new characters and I can't wait to see what else is going to happen with Marvel Phase 4. This phase is supposed to end in
Mm.
2023. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what they're going to announce in Comic Con. But I don't think that there is anything else that we have on the table right now.